it's me, your BFF.
Hey babe.
Can you come frost my eyeshadow real quick?
Yeah, I'll be there in 5.
Thanks.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're gonna be taking it all the way back to the early 2000s with my bestie, Sahar.
Oh, hey.
Keep watching to learn this look. So for this early 2000s look, I went ahead and did some of Sahar's skin so that way we can really focus on the eyes and the lips for this makeup tutorial. To base the eyes, I'm gonna be using this primer by P. Louise. This is the Base Pro in Rumor 03. It's a pretty tan shade, so I feel like it'll be perfect to base Sahar's eyes. And I do have a code for this and I'll link it below as well. The brush that I'm using is by ColourPop and this is number E1. I'm just starting at the base of her eyelashes and just working my way up to right underneath the brow bone. I feel like I'm always gravitating towards this base for eyeshadow because I feel like it really gives you maximum color payoff. I also put a little bit of Laura Mercier translucent powder right underneath her eyes just to bake slightly. So that way, if any of these frosty and metallic eyeshadows fall down, we can easily just wipe it away without messing up the under eye concealer. And I'm just using a fluffy brush to kind of go over this area and make sure that it's nice and smooth. Same thing on this side, just starting at the base of the lashes and working my way up. I'm so sad. I cut myself. I was trying to be domestic.
That's the worst.
So just ignore my band-aid. Wifey duties. I'm actually really excited about this look because I haven't done it since the 2000s. Maybe we should keep it in the 2000s, but
maybe
we're gonna bring it back today.
Let's do it.
And it's gonna be a little bit more elevated because like I just don't know if my wrist can give you those brows.
Oh my God, yeah.
It just, I don't think I have it in me to give you like those thin brows.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a little bit elevated. For eyes, I'm gonna start off with this Fenty Beauty eyeshadow palette. I feel like this is perfect. This is one of the Snap Shadows palettes. I'm gonna be using this pink shade here. I'm just gonna get my brush a little bit damp with my mist. So that way we avoid any fallout. And I'll have you look down at your lap. And I'm just gonna start off by basing this Frosty pink eyeshadow along your lash line. And we're gonna bring it up to the crease, or maybe up to the brow. Just have a nice little frosty moment.
Right?
I always wore like a whitish blue frosty shadow. I feel like that was my go-to. I wore it like every day.
And obviously didn't use any makeup brushes. I used my fingers.
Use my finger like the little sponge applicators. Who remembers those?
Oh yeah.
To get in the inner corner of the eye, I'm gonna have you look down in this way, and I'm just gonna use a smaller brush. This one's by MAC, it's a 239 brush, and it just makes it a lot easier to shade the inner corners. And I'm really gonna blow this out into the inner corner of the eye because we want a frosty moment. I'm not holding back on the frost and the metallics and the shimmers. I need all of those textures. Okay, so were you Christina or Brittany?
Brittany.
Same. Nicole Richie or Paris Hilton?
Paris Hilton.
Same. Did you watch The Simple Life?
Yes.
Same.
Twins! What a surprise!
Did you watch Lizzie McGuire?
Yeah, and then I watched all the movies.
All of them.
So good.
Okay, no, you're just reminding me of all the words. Like, it was very totally...
Yeah, totes.
As if.
As if.
Sweet.
Ew.
So I actually decided to take this frosty pink shadow and really bring it into the inner corner of your eyes. Normally I would contour there with like a matte shade, but all that's going out the window today.
No rules.
No rules, guys. It's makeup.
Do you remember going to Blockbuster?
All the time.
And renting movies?
Like all the time. It was like my favorite thing to do.
It was the best.
We're gonna go in for another layer of frost. So I'm gonna be using this eyeshadow from another Fenty Beauty palette. And I'm using this shade here. It's more of like a pinky cranberry tone, and I'm just using a MAC 217 brush. Just starting in the outer corner. I have never used this many metallics, I don't think, in my life. Maybe since then. Yeah, since then.
Probably.
I don't want to say in my life.
Do you think it's ever gonna come back? Because things keep coming back.
They come back.
Don't feel like the 2000s really come back. It's like it stays in the past.
Yeah. We should leave some things there.
Keep it back
like those low-rise jeans. I'm offended by those pants.
I'm so offended by them.
Like those pants are rude.
So low.
I actually like this on you.
Oh my god, I kind of like this on you too.
Using the same shade from this palette, I'm taking a 239 brush by MAC, and we're gonna start blowing out this frost. Turn this way. So I'm just using it right at the edge of her eye, and I'm just bringing this in an upward direction to lift the eyes up and to really blow this out. Favorite show, I loved Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
That was such a go-to show. Like after school, I had to go watch that. But I loved Clueless as a movie. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good movie.
And Mean Girls.
Yeah, Mean Girls is good. I mean, the Clueless outfits are the best.
I'm just taking my 239 brush and I'm just feathering the same eyeshadow out and just kind of sweeping it across the crease. Because again, you don't want to be afraid of the frost. And same thing on this side, just sweeping it across the crease. And we're also wearing vintage 2000s jewelry from Adore The Couture. And we'll link it down below if you guys want to check out their Instagram account. They have so many amazing vintage pieces from the 2000s. To smoke out Sahar's under eyes, I'm going to be using this eyeshadow palette from Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Berries and Cream eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to be using this cranberry shade here because it's nice and frosty. And I just feel like it'll add a little bit of depth underneath her eyes. And I'm just using a small shading brush. This is a brush that I'm actually coming out with sometime this year, so stay tuned for that. And I'm just getting right underneath her lashes and making sure there's no gaps. You just want to make sure that you get as close to the lash line as possible. And I'm just slowly starting to kind of drag this down and blow it out. And same thing on this side, just getting really close to those bottom lashes and working my way down just to blow it out a little bit. I'm just taking a little translucent and removing any excess fallout. And then using the shade Sugar Cookie, I'm gonna take a small pencil brush. This is a 219 from MAC, and I'm just going to kind of put this in the tear duct of the eyes. Oh, and that is nice and pigmented. This is exactly what we need for this look. So I'm just gonna kind of build this up in the tear ducts. To bring back even more frost into Sahar's face, I'm gonna be mixing these two shades of highlighters by Fenty Beauty. This one is Chills and the other one is What a Brat. The brush that I'm using is by London Blush Company. It's really soft and it makes applying highlighters so easy and seamless. I'm just applying this right on the tops of the cheeks. Oh wow, this is a moment. This is definitely a 2000s moment that we needed. And I'm just making sure that this is laying right on top of the blush. Look up for me. And then I will bring this around the sides of the temples. And just to make sure that it's nice and pushed into the skin, I'm gonna be using this Beauty Blender sponge just to make sure that it's nice and seamless looking. And just applying this to the tops of the cheeks, making sure that it's blended right on top of the blush. So just slightly overlapping. For mascara, I'll be using my Extrovert Mascara by Buxom. Starting from the base of the lashes, I'm just kind of twirling my wrist just to lift the lashes in an upward direction and lock in that curl. And using my thumb just to make sure I'm holding her eyelid so that way if she blinks, I'll be able to catch it and there won't be any mistakes. When you get into the inner corner of the eye, you can actually utilize the very tip of the mascara wand just to kind of work the brush to the right or the left just to make sure that you coat every single strand of hair. And the tip of this wand is in an X shape, so it makes it really easy to lift the lashes in an upward direction and to coat every single lash. Just gonna hold the wand vertically and coat the bottom lashes, starting from the base and then dragging in a downward direction. For lashes, I'm going to be using the style Paris by Lily Lashes. These are actually my favorite lashes that Lily Lashes makes because they're long, wispy, and fluttery. They're honestly everything that I love. And for this look, I'm actually going to cut the lashes starting here. We're going to be cutting the outer edge and then applying that only on the corner of the eyes just to lift the eyes up. For glue, I'll be using House of Lashes. This gives a nice all-day wear, and I feel like it never comes up in the corners when I use this one. To apply these lashes, I'm using my Tweezerman tweezers that I love. You guys always see me use these. I'm just making sure I'm getting really close to that lash line. Sometimes you have to readjust just to make sure that it's perfect. And then using the tweezers just to really work in those inner and outer edges of the lashes so it's nice and seamless with your real lashes. For lips, I'm going to be using a mix of these two lip liners from Buxom Cosmetics in the shade Incognito and Hush Hush. To line Sahar's lips, I'm going to be using Hush Hush first. It's a really beautiful shade. I honestly wear this all the time. It's a staple in my kit. And it just goes with anything, really, any look. So it's nice and neutral, but it has a warmth to it. Kind of reminds me of like your lip color, but better. It's a really beautiful natural shade. And then the same thing on the top. I'm just really slowly following the natural shape of Sahar's lips and slightly overdrawing only in the center. You can also use the other end to kind of just blend out the line. I love that this has a brush on the end, and to be honest, it's a really sharp brush. It makes it really easy to smooth out any edges. For the center of the lips, I'm using the shade Incognito just to bring back a little bit of light to highlight the center of the lips. And I typically do love shading the entire lip with different lip liners, different shades, just to lock in that lip and make sure it stays all day. To finish off this look, I'm going to be using a gloss by Buxom Cosmetics. This is in the shade Mariah. And as you can see, it has such a beautiful 2000s vibe to it. So I think it's going to be perfect. Just using a lip brush, and I'm just blotting this right in the center of the lips. And then blending it out to the outer corners and edges. This gloss has such a beautiful iridescence to it. I feel like it definitely gives me that 2000s vibe that I'm looking for. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments below what other videos you'd like me to create, and I'll see you soon. Gotta go because we are two very busy girls.
Toodles.
Whatever.
Loves it. I was trying so hard not to laugh.
Whatever. Okay.
What else? Oh, I have like 7 Tamagotchis.
Oh, sorry. Did I get you? I'm just gonna spray it just to get it a little bit damp. I'm not impressed by money, social status, or a job title. I'm impressed by the way someone treats other human beings.